Rock and roll will never die. What is up, everybody? Welcome here to PCP Movie Night on Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm your host, Rockin, Robbie, Bills, and tonight we continue Horrorfest 2025. We got 4 channels involved, the biggest, most explosive Horrorfest of all time, and we're kicking off the final week of September and the first week of October here on PCP Movie Night with the Slumber Party Massacre Trilogy. There are my copies right there. I got the first one, and I got 2 and 3, and y'all, this, when I finally got this, was one of the most important moments of my life. I am quite a fan of this trilogy. In particular, I'm quite the fan of one of these movies above the others. I'm very excited for this. I've been wanting to do this show for a while, and this year I decided, fuck it. We're not just doing Slumber Party Massacre. We're not just doing Slumber Party Massacre 2. We're doing all 3 of the movies. Now, we are doing what we are calling a trilogy review, not a franchise review, because if we were doing a franchise review, we would be talking about the Sci-Fi Channel 2021 remake of Slumber Party Massacre, as well as Sorority Row Massacre 1, 2, and 3, and Cheerleader Massacre 1 and 2, and I think they did a 3 because actually Cheerleader Massacre Part 1 was initially set into production as Slumber Party Massacre Part 4. So it's kind of like Corman's Massacre franchise. Maybe one day we'll get into the others, but man, I'm so freaking excited for this. Let's introduce the panel. We got the man with a plan, a brother from another mother, and I can't think of any more rhymes except for let's get crazy with Jelani. How you doing, my man?
Station. Man, oh man, Shevitz. I didn't know this was going to be a wild movie set until I saw it. Robbie, what the crap? This, I guess, does conclude the sleaze, does it not?
Yeah, we've had 4 solid weeks of sleaze, and so far, Jelani, you've been enjoying it.
I'm not against it. I'm not against it. I'm glad you picked some of these movies out. We will talk about these, though. I have notes. I have lots of notes.
Hell yeah, he's got notes. Speaking of notes, this dude's got some of the best notes about horror movies I see on a channel about horror movies here on YouTube. It's Verno from Blood Splatter Chatter. Look at those notes. He's even got diagrams and fucking like Jonathan Hickman infographics and shit, dude.
What up, man? I am very excited to be here. I'll echo what Jelani said. I'm glad you picked these movies. I think it's a super worthy trilogy to talk about. I'd only seen the first one, so 2 new to me, and I'm super glad that you added this to Horrorfest. I really am.
Hell yeah. And you know, we can't just be sitting here during Horrorfest, especially, just glazing each other over. So we always bring in the regulator, and he regulates any stealing of his property. It's Joe Corallo. What is up, my man?
It's true. I'm excited to talk about these pretty basic slashers.
Okay, hell yeah. Dude, I could give you some more basic slashers, dude. I don't know. Have you ever seen Friday the 13th part, I don't know, 6, 7, 8, 9? I'm not going to say 10.
4, 3, 2, 1.
3, 1, not 2. I won't count 2. I'll count 4 though, not 5.
It might be shocking to the panel, but I have seen all of the Friday the 13th.
You've probably seen them in a theater with each director introducing them. Shit, dude.
I've actually seen a lot of them multiple times.
I believe it. Me too. Seen all of them multiple times. Even Jason Goes to Hell, which I think is the worst. Speaking of not the worst, this dude has a slight city connection with one of the Driller Killers. We'll get into that later on. I love having this dude on because I will never know what he thinks about some of my favorite 80s slashers. It's the Missing Link, a.k.a. my man Steph. What's up, homie?
What's going on, fellas? Thank you. I appreciate that. I like to think, maybe Joe's like the dark side, I'm like the light side, but we're both balanced. We're both balanced.
Okay.
It's
you
the
both bring balance
in the Naboo. What affects one affects the other. Exactly.
You in a bigger doo-doo now, Joe Corallo. So, and also to round out the panel, the man who I think always will hate every horror movie I love is Brooks, the Shroom Man. What's up, homie?
The ultimate balance.
I am so excited for a Brooks. It's all right. And we're going to get one tonight.
I'm holding myself back, man. I'm holding myself back.
We're gonna get one. I'm excited.
Fuck yeah, let's get into it. We're going to start with Slumber Party Massacre Part 1, right? This movie came out in 1981, had a $220,000 budget that's reported, made $3.6 million. That's a success. Actually, it was released in 1982. My bad. It was written by Rita Mae Brown, who wrote the movie under a different name. Cannot remember the name of the movie right now, but Roger Corman decided it should be called Slumber Party Massacre. Amy Jones is the director of this film. She was a Cormanite. A lot of people got their start back in the 70s and the 80s working for Roger Corman. Roger Corman had connections. We have Joe Dante, for instance, because of Roger Corman. We have Jack Nicholson, for instance, because of Roger Corman. We have Dick Miller, for instance, because of Roger Corman. We have a lot of people. We have Martin fucking Scorsese because of Roger Corman. So one day, Roger Corman gets a call from Marty, and he says, hey, man, you got anybody who's... Roger Corman was basically a practical, hands-on film school for people back in the 70s and the 80s, right? So Scorsese calls Corman and says, do you got any like new class that's really good? And he mentioned Amy. Amy got the gig to then work as Scorsese's assistant on Taxi Driver, right? And then anybody who was editing films for Roger Corman, it was known that once you edited a few films, you were able to then request to be the filmmaker, the director of a film, right? So she went beyond just requesting to direct a film. She took an unproduced screenplay and she saw that the first like 10 minutes of this movie had 3 different types of scenes that she could have. There was a conversation, there was like a suspenseful scene, and there was like another type scene. So she went out on her own and filmed the first 10 minutes of this movie, gave it to Roger. Roger says, how much did you spend on this? She goes, $1,000. He goes, you got a future in this. I want you to make a movie. She goes, cool. What are we doing? He goes, no, this one. I want you to finish this movie. And she's like, damn. Anyway, she actually turned down editing E.T. to direct this film. So think about that. Think about that. I'm sure she does every single day. But anyway, Slumber Party Massacre is a slasher film. It's not, I think, the typical slasher film of its time in 1982, because a lot of slasher films are actually whodunits, right? They try to throw out red herrings. They want you to try to pick out of this trilogy. Only the third movie is like that. The third movie to me is the most basic, 2 being well above and beyond what was required for the sequel to this movie. But I like this movie. I really, really do. A lot of people interpret it as having a feminist lean to it. Now, a lot of people will credit Roger Corman for having female writers and directors on all 3 of these films. But one of the reasons why he did that was so that he wouldn't have to deal with as much criticism. He could always just kind of have the scapegoat of being like, a woman did it, right? But this movie was written as a parody of sorts of slasher movies. It wasn't meant to be a straight slasher movie, though when in post-production, it became more of that. For instance, the dude who plays the driller killer, who I think is fucking phenomenal, he was not into the comedy bit at all. He played it very real, very straight, very creepy. He based his whole like style of performance on a peacock, right? So he's like strucking around and moving around like a bird. Like he came up with that whole like, I love you, and like holding and touching that drill. But of course, Amy and the rest of them, yeah, it's a simple story, right? But even the theme is simple. It's about a young woman's fear of losing her virginity, right? Especially in a pressurized position that you are in when you are a teenager, especially. Oh, wait, you haven't had sex yet? Something's wrong with you. Motherfucker, I'm 13. No 13-year-old should be having sex. I'm sorry. And even if you lost your virginity at 13, I'm sorry, you should have waited a little bit longer. It probably would have been better. That being said, I love this film. I think it's great. She knew that Amy, I want to keep saying Amy Pond. It's Amy Jones. Amy Jones kept, she knew that she had to get kills, she had to get gore, and she had to get nudity. We were talking about this a few weeks ago with Humanoids from the Deep, another Roger Corman production, right? He hires a woman to do that. He gets the movie. He's like, the movie's fine, but there's not enough sex and there's not enough violence. So let's pump that in. She knew about this. So she says, fuck it. We're going to do it. And we're going to do it straight up at first. So even somebody like me who loves looking at the human body nude, I get kind of bothered by the opening of this fucking movie where it's just so obvious that it's just like, oh, you want to see tits? Here you go. Oh, you want to see ass? Here you go. It's just being so obvious with it. But then you get out of it and it is kind of funny to me, right? Like when the driller killer gets his fucking drill cut off and he's just like, oh shit. And yeah, it's his dick. I love it. I actually love the whole point of this movie of doing something that has some level of substance, even in the midst of a typical slasher film that's supposed to be filled with nudity and violence, gore. I feel like as far as slasher films goes, this is one of my favorites, man. It really is, because it understands from the get-go that this movie is supposed to be fun. Now, I think that that's something, I think it's a strength of the entire franchise, that all three of these movies have a subtext to it in the midst of something that probably shouldn't, right? But at the same time, is a fun movie. This movie's like an hour and 15 minutes, gets in, gets out. You got sexy people, you got sexy murders. I like the film, and I think the driller killer and his performance is one of the best parts of this film. Also, the music, because the budget was so low. The music is done by Ralph Jones, who is Amy Jones's brother, and it's all done on a Casio fucking keyboard. And I think it's one of the greatest slasher scores of the 80s and always underappreciated. So I like this film. What about you, Jelani? What do you think about it? Do you have a history? First time? Let us know. What do you dig? And give us your rating as well. And you out there in the chat, what would you rate the first Slumber Party Massacre?
This was crazy because like I've seen slasher movies now. We've watched horror movies for a number of years, and this one was interesting because we're now to like the real B movie list of movies to watch, and this is a fun watch. I must say, I really enjoyed it for a lot of different reasons, and not just because of the nudity. The nudity is up front, sure, but I will say this about the film: I think they followed the wrong character, the wrong main character. You should have started with Valerie in this movie.
Valerie's the neighbor, right?
He's the neighbor that like ultimately.
That is a big problem in this movie, Jelani. You're right. Like there is like, who is the main character of this movie, right? They try to do this switch, but it doesn't quite work.
It's not. It's a lot of work to get to it too, because Valerie's your main character, and you should have set up with her anyway, because her sister is the main character in the next movie. So I mean, why did you set it up this way? I think the characters are quirky. They're typical dumb kids that get killed and all the things. Like, who eats a pizza over a dead body that makes you feel better?
She's hungry as fuck, bro.
Yeah, she's hungry.
She's tired of the misery, man.
It's like the best part.
Yes. By the way, she was fine. She can get it. She can absolutely get it.
It's a recurring theme in these movies that the person with the best breasts don't show them.
Don't show them.
Dude.
The third movie, we'll get to that. I'm still mad at that shit. But yeah, there's little things in this movie that was just pissing me off. I'm like, why are you not showing these? If you're gonna do it, the wrong main character. She's okay. She's a great actress. I think she did a good job for what was given to her, along with take your shirt off. It's not bad. Which, by the way, I thought was kind of gross because like she gets out of bed and then immediately puts a dress on. And I'm like, don't you need to take showers? I mean, they take a shower later, but it was just very.
She might have taken a shower at night, dude. Obviously, look at waking up. By the way, Brink Stevens' first movie role is in Slumber Party Massacre. She's one of the first victims. Yeah.
Wild. Yeah, I like it. I like the kills in this. I like the first kill. I wish you could show that they could show it a little more in this movie. I don't know why. It looked like they were doing a lot of cutaways, especially the telephone girl. The first part. I think she should have.
The violence is toned down. I think there's an unrated version that's available on a Steelbook, but they toned it down because with all the level of nudity, especially like.
Yeah, it's
like you have to choose one or the other, pretty much, especially in '82.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, I know they're like the Christian right is like mad right now when these come out, so I understand. But it's a good little slasher flick. It's very basic. You get in, you get out. It's merciful. The music's nice. It's. I think the sister, the younger sister, the one that's in 2, she's my favorite character for some dumb reason. Just the way she talks about her tongue, French kissing a guy on the phone. I think I laughed so hard for some.
I could have just died.
I could have just died. It's so slimy and disgusting. I was like, this is the funniest shit ever. So like, there are little things in this movie that I really enjoyed. The killer is outstanding. For me, he's not the best. I'm not saying he's the best. I'm just saying this man understood his assignment and still like went out and went that extra mile. I love you. In his eyes and his.
He also worked method, so he would like. He didn't meet any of the other cast before they appeared on screen, so they were truly terrified of him because. Motherfucker's acting creepy as shit throughout this whole movie. His walk, his look, like I think he's really underappreciated as a slasher from the 80s, man.
Yeah, he is. And I liked his motivations. It was just, I'm gonna kill people. I want to kill people that look pretty. You look pretty. I'm good, I love you. And it was like enamored by these high school kids. It's absolutely insane. It's one of the wildest slashers I've seen in a while. So I will give this one. This is a 3. This is decently a 3 for me. It's rewatchable, especially the first 20 minutes of this movie. It's pretty decent. I understand the phallic symbol of the drill and the you do the sex, the drugs. All the
penetration, the blood, right?
The penetration of what it is. I'm saying all of those, the combination of things. Like it's supposed to be a cautionary tale. Don't do drugs. Don't have sex. Don't do all the things. Or a man with a really large drill will come and kill you. That he is an allegory for his dick.
Yeah, I think the whole message is penises are bad. I would probably agree with that.
Scary.
So yeah, definitely a 3.
Hell yeah. All right, a 3 from Jelani. What about you, Verno? What do you think about the film? Not your first time watching. What did you think about this time, and what do you rate it?
The first time I watched it, I remember thinking like, I didn't think too much of it. I thought it was just, like basic standard slasher, which it is. It's nothing crazy special. But for whatever reason, this time I just like was really in the mood for it. And I loved it. I really enjoyed the shit out of it this time for what it is. You know what I mean? Comparing it to other 80s slashers, I will agree with what you said. I think it's if I had watched this before we did our top 10 slashers thing, it wouldn't have made my top 10, but it definitely would have been an honorable mention.
Well, you remember I had part 2 as an honorable mention.
Right. I would have I would have mentioned that too. But I think one of the things on the first time I watched it that I didn't appreciate as much as I did this time is the killer. Just there's something about him that I'm like, this is basic looking fucking guy. Like, I don't know. I didn't really get the appeal of him.
And they don't hide it from the get-go.
Right. I was just kind of confused. I'm like, okay, so is that the killer? Is there going to be a twist? And then maybe that's what it was. Partially, I'm expecting there to be some kind of twist. But if you think about it, you're more likely, especially in 82, to get killed by a guy that looks like him rather than a guy running around wearing human flesh as a mask or whatever. So it's cool. And then, like, honestly, like the whole time, like first part of the movie, I'm like, oh, I'm enjoying it. Basically had the same feelings. But one thing I appreciated about it, a lot of movies will kind of blow their wad with the kills early on. You'll get your best kill early on. And I don't think there was a single kill in this that was like amazing or anything, but to a degree, they did kind of ramp up as it went, and there was a lot of them, and there was a lot of more than I think than any of the sequels that come after that. But the bits in between too, like when they would find a body, like the pizza guy at the door. There's a lot of bits in horror movies where you find a body, but these like stood out. The pizza guy at the door looked awesome. The
His
chick
eyes
in the
drilled
fridge,
out, man.
yes,
Right?
the chick in the fridge, I love that scene. This is like
Yeah, I
really
love
funny and really like messed up, really cool scene. Just I found myself by the end of it getting more and more into it. Then afterwards, I was like, God damn, like I love Slumber Party Massacre.
And I know we can all talk about Slumber Party Massacre 2 and how stupid that scene is where the chicken attacks her from the fucking refrigerator, but that's a callback to that moment. It's a callback to that moment, right? And that's what makes it even cooler to me, man.
Jelani mentioned my favorite bit, just bits like that with the chick eating the pizza. You mentioned two things I really wanted to mention. I'm glad you got to. The chick eating the pizza on the body, and that chick is the one chick that I was like, okay, we're seeing everybody else. Like, let's see that one. And then we never got to her. No. For those that don't know, we're talking about the black chick. We're talking about she's the one that we missed out on.
Okay, I really say the chick in the blue shirt, right? Yeah,
yes.
She was bad.
Yeah,
I really loved it, man. I really enjoyed it. I might be a little crazy, maybe a little Horrorfest bump a little bit, but I'm giving it a 4.0. Really enjoyed the film. Way more than I thought that I was gonna, man.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, I'm liking how this conversation's going so far, but now you gotta ask Joe fucking Corallo, who really disappointed me on Return of the Living Dead 3. Especially when I had your back on Faithful Findings. But you know what? It's not about favors. We're not the goddamn US government. So Joe, I want your honest opinions. Slumber Party Massacre 1. What do you think? What do you rate it?
Sure. First, I do want to point out that I did give Return of the Living Dead Part 3 the score that you said it probably deserved. I did give it a 2.5. So I'm just saying, wasn't that out of left field? But you know, like I mean, this movie and the franchise as a whole, I'm a little conflicted because, you know, on one hand, they're not very good movies. So when I was watching Slumber Party Massacre this time, to sort of go over this, I can't not talk about these movies without also making it a point that it's easily probably the only horror trilogy to be both directed and written only by women. Mm-hmm. So I do think that is a worthwhile thing to state. And you know, you can't really, you know, push that aside because there really aren't that many. There's not a lot of women directors in general who get any sort of praise. Especially it's like ask the 80s,
right?
Yeah, I mean, ask any cinephile, name the top 10 women directors, and watch them fucking squirm. You know, it's if it was like 5, maybe 10, all of a sudden it's like I've seen hundreds of movies. And,
I know I could do 5. I don't think I could do 10, man. So yeah,
no, it's crazy.
I could probably make through 10 if I included all 3 women who directed Slumber Party Massacre movies.
No, there you go.
I can't confidently do 1 or 2. I don't know.
You know, it's
Bigelow.
Yeah, I'm blanking on her name, but American Psycho is directed by a woman, and that's
and there's great. The sisters who did American Mary.
Yeah, that's
the Sosta sisters, right? There's Penny did Big Penny Marshall. Sorry, Laverne and
Penny
Shirley.
Marshall, yeah, Penny Marshall. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, so like it's rough. So it gets a lot of points for that. It gets a lot of points for, again, how cheap it is. I mean, this movie, you know, if we're going like budget wise, like it does stack up pretty well to similar slashers with twice the budget, you know. That being said, tonally this movie's a fucking train wreck. And there's no, oh, well, you know, it was written to be a parody and then it wasn't. It's like, that's great to know. But at the end of the day, It's like, you know what? If I go and sit down to a nice dinner and someone's like, yeah, we put a lot into this, but we burnt the fuck out of it. And I wouldn't be eating it going like, well, they did work really hard on it. Like, it still sucks. So, I think there's something to be said about the effort that goes into it. I do think it's not entirely fair. I know the point you were making, Robbie, before about like a lot of slashers at this point were whodunits, but also a lot of them weren't. Halloween and Halloween 2 had already come out and were really big influences. Like that really like started the slasher genre, and they're not whodunits. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is not a whodunit. Last House on the Left isn't a whodunit. Peeping Tom isn't a whodunit. Friday the 13th Part 2 and 3 isn't a whodunit. My Bloody Valentine isn't a whodunit.
My Bloody Valentine is a whodunit, right?
No, it isn't. It starts, who did it in the beginning.
It's a whodunit, Joe. I mean, you're right about everything else, but that one you're wrong, man.
It's a Texas Chainsaw at least has a twist. You do get a twist built into the.
You get a twist, but I don't know. I would not call My Bloody Valentine a whodunit.
Well, you haven't seen it in a minute, bro. It 100% is a yes. It is. I promise you.
I'm pretty sure I would call it a whodunit. And you know what? We don't need to be focused, but Joe,
no.
I agree with very
ton. But yeah, like I don't know.
We've already done My Bloody Valentine. Fuck, we need to do it again.
I love My Bloody Valentine. I think it's a great movie. I think calling it a whodunit's a stretch.
It's so Canadian.
The Miner is going to be at Scarefest, and I'm like, I love that movie, but I don't know if I need to meet that guy.
Yeah, I know if I need to meet the Miner from. It's a fucking fantastic movie. I love it. But
not when the dude from Gremlins is there and Warlock, right? Was it Warlock he's in, or is it Wishmaster? No, it's not Wishmaster.
Ooh.
It's one of those movies. I think it's Warlock. Anyway, Zach Galligan or whatever the hell his name is. I'm sorry, Joe. Go ahead. I got distracted.
No, you're fine. But I mean, there's just a lot of like. I mean, the tonal inconsistencies get distracting after a while. There are way too many fake outs in this movie to the point where it's annoying. Like by like 2/3 of the movie, I'm like, oh my God, can we stop with the fucking fake outs? It's way too many. They needed to cut like 3 fake outs. And this is a 75-minute movie, but like there's a string in the middle where it's just constant fake outs. And I'm like, this is just annoying. It's not like it wasn't doing it for me after a while. The whole, again, the bit in the beginning with the school and like killing the one girl there was weird. It's like you got her and she runs away and she doesn't drip any blood at all. It just pools a little bit under the door when she's hiding, and he eventually finds it. And it's like, give me a fucking break with that. Like this is a gore fest where she didn't drop a single bit of blood as she was running for her life. Like little things like that. Him running around with it in the middle of the day outside the school and nothing. Like you couldn't have just shot that at night. Like there were just like a few little things that are just like, it just came off sloppy in a lot of ways. And like the refrigerator bit is great. I love that with the opening, closing, like that's a good bit. There's, like a lot of it doesn't really click until that like last 15 minutes of running around and kills and stuff where it goes really over the top. That's when the movie like wins you back. I think the middle kind of blows. And then the ending is so over the top and crazy. And even though the deaths aren't necessarily that interesting or inspired, they're like just constant. It's constant chopping people up and stuff. And that gets this movie over the top for me. And that's what makes this movie stand out as an 80s slasher. So I because of that, like last 15 or so minutes and all that setup, I'm giving it a 3.5.
Fuck yeah, 3.5 from Joe. Hell yeah. And you like the music, right, Joe?
The music, you had already mentioned it, but it is one of the best sort of like scores, I think, for a slasher in that time period. Certainly in the first half of the 80s, maybe all of the 80s, but the score is fucking crazy.
Yeah, I'd put it on par with The Burning. I think it and The Burning have a great score, man. I love that
It did not help that I watched The Burning last week.
No. Okay.
Perfect screen, of course.
The Burning did make my top 10. Even
The
though
Burning is so fucking good.
Yeah, and you know
It's
what? We've never covered that
crazy.
here on PCP Movie Night, so that's still to come, everybody. So
Excellent. That's mind blowing. I watched that, and then like 2 days later started the Sleepaway Cat movie. So bad move on my part. I get it, but
hell yeah. Link, what about you? Was this your first time watch? What did you think? What do you rate it?
Yes, this was a first time watch for me. I took some quick notes, just first impressions as I was watching it. I wrote
This
TNA,
motherfucker
2
finally,
minutes in.
he comes up here with some notes for Slumber Party Massacre. I fucking love it. We've talked about the
did
most
my
heady
homework.
movies with Link before. And this motherfucker's like, well, I'm sorry, but Slumber Party Massacre, we're doing 3 of them. I brought some notes, man.
I want to articulate myself well. TNA, 2 minutes in, cool. The electrician chick, she got Scream 2'd. The first chick, I think it was the first chick to get killed. That reminded me of The Faculty when the teacher gets locked in the school at the very beginning. You know, kind of, sort of, doesn't play out the same.
For sure, though.
Sister with the mullet, very annoying.
Didn't she act like she was 12 years old and she was like 18?
Yeah.
Sister?
Well, they have 35-year-olds acting like they're 18.
20.
Right.
Yeah.
The Power Drill through the heart scene, I thought was pretty impressive. I appreciated it. You guys were talking about the killer. I said his eyes were super intense. Like even though he didn't really say anything till the last couple of minutes of the word, he always had like this fucking a serial killer glare. I mean, he's a serial killer. And then I wrote cocaine is a hell of a drug, pertaining to his ending and how he just kept coming back, bro. Like nothing was putting him down.
Disemboweled in his
That
head
being
got
said,
gone. It kept coming.
it was fun. You know, it does have its flaws, but I was surprised by how much fun I had with this one. So I'm right there with Jelani. I give it a solid 3 out of 5.
nice.
Hell yeah. 3 out of 5. I'm liking how this is going so far, but now we're about to talk to Brooks. Brooks, what'd you think about Slumber Party Massacre, first time watching from 1982?
It's all right.
Yes!
The first one's honestly all right. Not great. Like, it delivers on its premise, if nothing else. You get a slumber party, you get a massacre, but it's not as interesting as like a Halloween or a Friday the 13th. I think it doesn't like pull me in as much. I think the killer is very boring, and you don't really get much about him until the end. And even then it's like, oh, so that's it. Wow. It just feels very uninspired, I guess. It has its moments that I really like. I agree. I think they should have followed Valerie because I think she was the most interesting character, and I like how it's kind of hinted at throughout the movie that the killer actually is afraid of her. It seems in a way because there's a couple of scenes where he has a chance to get the drop on her, but he just slinks back into the background. It's almost like they're hinting at that. He knows that she's gonna kill him or something.
Bro, did you see her on the court? I'd back away too, man. You know what I'm saying?
She's a bad bitch. Valerie's a bad bitch.
She's like goddamn Steph Curry out there, man. What the fuck?
Yeah. Let's get them layups.
She had that +3 attack machete, and she was bodied it.
That's the best machete I've ever seen. She wields it better than Jason. That's freaking
It's
wild.
bigger than
Yeah,
Jason's.
Valerie
That's a
would kick
fucking
Jason's
sword,
ass,
man. That's a
dude.
goddamn samurai sword. That's
You
not a
did.
machete.
Yep.
I thought it was a samurai sword at first when she was pulling it off the fucking wall. I was like, oh yeah, get the samurai sword. It wasn't until she
Kill
killed
Bill
him
shit,
that I was
bro.
like, oh, that's a fucking machete, bro.
That's how it's
Yeah,
supposed to look.
I'd give this movie a 3. Like,
Mhm.
I thought I was all right. Like, I didn't hate it. So, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I like that. All right, I like that. I like that. For my rating, I think that the movie objectively deserves a 3.
Mhm.
I'm going to give it a 0.5 Horrorfest bump,
Mhm.
right? I'm also going to give it a I love this fucking franchise bump and say it's a 4. So for me, it's a 4. From my subjective idea, I'm giving it a 4. Agreeing with Verno. Then we got a 3 from Jelani, Brooks, and Link, and a 3.5 from Joe for a PCP average of 3.469, which I think is pretty freaking cool.
Definitely
For the first Slumber Party Massacre, right?
Can I add just a couple more things that I love? Just 2 little scenes that I really enjoyed. When the driller killer is laying down in the living room, the shit's going on. He attacks the gym teacher, and the girl comes running in slow motion with the knife. There's just something about that I really love. Something really visceral, like the way she stabs him, and then her reaction to stabbing him is super badass. And then
it's almost like the slow motion at the end of the first Friday, where Alice comes out with that fucking to cut off Pamela's head, right?
I mean, I know there's slow mo is it's kind of an easy way to get an effect, but like when they're killing the driller killer in slow motion, that's great too. But the other one, maybe my favorite kill, and where I was kind of surprised by how gnarly it got, is when he kills the one kid in the front yard, and they're intercutting it with, I think it's Valerie watching a slasher movie on TV, and he's stabbing the shit out of this kid, and it was kind of surprised me with how visceral it got for a moment, and it was just that was a great kill.
That scene pissed me off because it's he's banging on the door, and it's you motherfucker. It's why would you lunge at him? Let him come at you, And as soon as he jumps at him, she comes to the door, and it's oh, no one's there, and he let us end. I mean, it's a horror movie, I get it, but
Last part, one more thing I want to say too. Did in the shower scene, didn't old girl look at Valerie, the main character look at Valerie kind of, oh no, Valerie was looking at her kind of lustfully,
Yes. I mean, a lot of people pull a lot of feminism kind of ideas from this movie, and a lot of lesbian themes from this movie.
It was
the way that, I mean,
high school
honestly, if you look at it, all the women in the film are shown being very well-rounded. They're good athletes. They're good at school. You get what I'm saying? Everybody, and that is something that's not typical of women in 1982 slasher films.
Right. Even them having the little dialogue about, oh, we've got a group of friends, and this other one wants to be let in, but there's other girls in the group that don't want her in. That's something that we probably wouldn't have got in a movie written by a male. We wouldn't have probably got a scene, even the way they depict them playing basketball with girls playing basketball in a male-directed movie. It would have been shot differently.
And on that point too, we don't really see the girls being gossipy in the way that the boys are being gossipy with each other.
It's almost like an inversion, like Sleepaway Camp, right?
Yeah.
Where in Sleepaway Camp, the women are all the bullies, and all the men are the bimbos, right? And that's one of my favorite things about Sleepaway Camp. It there's a little bit of an inversion here.
Yep.
I think throughout all 3 of these fucking films, honestly, if you think about it. Yeah, I like that. All right, well, let's jump into 1987. This is what happened. Roger Corman is at Cannes Film Festival. He meets some foreign investors who go, Roger, we love your work. Is there another Slumber Party Massacre movie? Because we want to fund it. And he goes, yeah, we're doing a Slumber Party Massacre Part 2. So they give him more money than he needs to produce this film. So it's already good. It's already making money, right? Roger Corman is already making money. So then he contacts Deborah Brock. Deborah Brock is known mostly for doing kids movies and shit like that. But he approached her and said, I want you to do Slumber Party Massacre 2. She goes, all right, what's the script? He goes, there is no script. You got to make it up. He sold this fucking movie with no script, with not even the inclination that they were going to do another one, but a foreign company. And that's why they did Concord Entertainment or whatever, if you noticed at the beginning. And so then in 1987, we get Slumber Party Massacre 2. It was made for about $500,000 which is reported, it made $1.3 million in a very limited theatrical engagement and then made money in the aftermarket. I did not watch this movie until the very first month or two of Dylan's Horror Show. And we did Slumber Party Massacre 1 and 2. And I was familiar with 1, but I'd never seen 2. And the first time I watched this movie, I was like, why is this the best movie of all time? I fucking love Slumber Party Massacre 2. Y'all know me. I have a t-shirt. I would be wearing it right now, but I need to lose about 10 more pounds to get back to, that t-shirt level. However, I fucking love this movie. Slumber Party Massacre 2. It follows the story of Courtney, the young 12-year-old from the first movie. She's now a teenager. She's in a rock band, or she's in a pop band of the 80s, Bangles-like, right? And she's a teenager. She's got a crush on this dude, but she's kind of traumatized. Her sister, Valerie, is now in the mental hospital. We find out she's at an asylum because she's kind of been driven mad because of the events of the first film. And it's starting to creep into her. She has these dreams about the driller killer, but now the driller killer is a rockabilly Andrew Dice Clay type. You know what I'm saying? And played by Atanas Illich, by the way. Atanas Illich is my favorite performance in this movie. I fucking love him in this movie. He's the driller killer. He's the rockabilly guy. His drill is part of this gnarly ass guitar. I want that guitar. I want a prop-like version of that guitar. I would hang it on the fucking wall. I goddamn love it. I love his look. I love the fucking music. I love everything about him. By the way, this is what's crazy. Atanas Illich is the son of the Illich who owns most of Detroit, Michigan, who started Little Caesar, owns the Red Wings, owns the Detroit Tigers. This is that dude's son.
The
He
driller
is
killer
a
is?
multimillionaire.
Wow.
The driller killer, at the time of making this movie, is already a multimillionaire. He leaves the family business to do music. He goes to LA. He makes an album. There's an Atlantis album out there. And on the back cover of it, he's holding a fucking cat. It's adorable. I haven't listened to the album. I really need to, but I know that fact because of Joe Bob Briggs. So thank you, Joe Bob, for that. He did 3 movies. He did that album. He did these 3 movies. He is the one actually singing during his bits. And then shortly after this, he went back to the family business and worked in sports entertainment, and then actually started a recording studio that Aretha Franklin liked to record at up in Detroit. So he's kind of a big deal up in your area, Link. So I thought that was a cool connection there.
Hell yeah.
But I think he kills the role, man. He is, to me, super sexy. I think this movie is super sexy. I tell people all the time, my sexuality is Slumber Party Massacre Part 2. Like, I love these fucking women. I love that fucking dude. Like, I get fucking obsessed with everybody in this movie. There's less nudity in this film. There's less sex. I don't give a fuck, dude. I love that this movie is fucking bonkers. It is nuts. It's kind of like a ripoff of another popular slasher. What's the most popular slasher in 1987? Outside of Jason Voorhees is Freddy Krueger.
Freddy Krueger.
The damn police officer's name is Officer Krueger because they know what they're doing. So basically, due to subconscious projection, Courtney is dreaming her imagined version of the driller killer into existence, right? And then throughout the movie, eventually he becomes real and starts killing everybody. There's some amazing gore in this movie. The fucking pimple busting on the chick. That's the chick from Society, by the way. Awesome. Also, the chick with the biggest breasts in this movie, she was a Playboy Playmate of the Year. She had a no nudity clause in this movie. But the redhead that we do see nude, she was in this movie. She's in New Beginning and she's in Psycho 3. And I think those are like 3 of the only 4 movies she's ever done. And I am obsessed with her. She's the bratty, like, rich girl whose dad owns the condo. I fucking love the ridiculousness of this movie. I love the ambiguity of this movie. When you get to the end, what is the end? The end is one of two things. Either she's crazy the whole time and it's all been in her head, or she manifests this fucking supernatural entity into existence, kills all of her friends, and then she goes crazy. Regardless,
I like that option.
I fucking love this movie. I think it all actually happens, right? And then I think that she winds up going crazy, winds up in the same asylum that her sister is in. And I do believe that her sister may actually have gotten killed by the driller killer in that first dream sequence. I don't know. There's some Freddy Krueger shit going on here. Not done as well, but I don't give a fuck, dude. I love it.
Freddy Krueger shit.
I love when the driller killer snaps his fucking hands or he turns the fucking lights on and it all goes red and fucking green. And they're just like leaning into it, dude. This is like Nightmare Sisters level of love that I have for this movie. This movie is so stupid. It's so dumb, but it's fucking awesome to me. By the way, the main character is Crystal Bernard, who most people remember from Wings, right?
Wings,
who has
baby.
distanced herself very much from this movie, but I fucking love it. And the music. So the music that the girls' band is playing is from an actual band called Wednesday Week. I love those fucking songs. I love the Driller Killer songs. Can't stop loving you. And the whole let's buzz. I got an apartment at the Ritz. I paid for it with my hits. I don't know what it is. I fucking love this movie. I love it so goddamn much. I really, really fucking do. I think this is one of the greatest films of all time. What about you, Jelani? What did you think about Slumber Party Massacre 2? I'm certain this is your first time watching.
Yes, this is my first time watching it. And what the fuck, man? You are glazing the shit out of this movie. You need to calm down. Calm down a little bit. It's all right. It's all right. The killer, you manifested it, and it's a thing. It's a thing that happened, I guess. But I really think she's crazy, and I think she doesn't kill everybody. I believe she just manifests herself into the thing that's killing things, or it's all.
So you think maybe it's her? Maybe it's her.
It could be her being the killer.
Oh, by the way, the other thing I really applaud, for some reason they decided to make this one a musical, and so y'all know that what do I love? I love sexy people, I love horror movies, and I love musicals, man. You know I love this movie. You know this movie was made for me.
And musical on film. There's only one musical on film that's worth a damn. That's Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? But this is fine. This is okay. I didn't like it as much as you did. I didn't like it as much.
I think anyone is going to like it as much as Robbie.
The guitar is cool. I like the drill. I hate the fact that like the killer is killed by fire. Like all it took was her like doing the kill, which by the way, Crystal Bernard, when she does that scene and she starts laughing, I'm like, bruh, that's a damn good laugh. Like she had truly lost her mind. Like all her friends are dead. Yeah. Kind of situation.
I'll tell you this, fire's better than killing somebody with a dream demon with a goddamn mirror, which they did in like Freddy 4, which is the shittiest ending of a Freddy fucking movie. Evil sees this reflection in the mirror and dies. And you're like, wait, what? Where did that come from?
That's how they go, man.
At least we're like, fire would kill somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It would, I guess.
But it didn't kill him. He comes back. He's all charred up. He grabs her. He's not dead.
I know. It's still wild. I don't know how.
This movie's great. This movie's brilliant.
They're playing by Final Fantasy rules. Ghosts are weak against fire and sure spells.
Yeah.
You say something about the Final Fantasy music works?
Yeah, it's Final Fantasy logic. Ghosts are vulnerable to fire and healing magic. So they could have thrown like a box of Band-Aids at him and it would have had the same effect.
That makes sense.
No, it's funny he brings up Final Fantasy because some of the background music I wrote down like cool Final Fantasy background music going on for some of the certain scenes. It was like really
came out before
old
Final
school.
Fantasy. So who ripped off who, Link? That's all I'm saying. Jelani, I'm sorry. Continue.
No, man. There's a lot going on in this film. I like the music. I was surprised about that. Like, they were really good. And I was gonna joke on how goofy the band was gonna be, but I was like, why is this band good? You know, and there was just like little things in this movie.
Da na 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 na. And dude,
It
it's good shit,
I
dude.
love the girl with the pimple. She was writing the Pie in the Sky song, and I was like, wait a minute, this sounds like a good. I mean, it's like a poppy dumb song, but it's like saccharine. It works,
Bro, they
like,
got a
for this
singer,
movie.
songwriter, drummer, and a main singer, bass player. They're one of the most progressive chick bands of the 1987. There you go.
That's wild. But yeah, it was decent. Those parts were decent.
It feels like a good, solid episode of California Dreaming, doesn't it?
Yes, that's the kind of feeling you're gonna get. I mean, it's still all right. It's not the best to me. I mean, it's still a wild little slasher movie. I don't know why they keep calling these horror comedies. I haven't laughed at any of these.
Oh, come on.
There are
This here's the thing. Out of all of them being called comedies and satires, this one I really get that from this. Like that bit where they just randomly start fucking drinking and taking their clothes off and dancing and feathers everywhere, and the dudes are like, I didn't know chicks really did this, man.
Yeah, they really do.
Even the pimple thing is kind of funny. You tell me you didn't laugh at the pizza bit in the
No.
first one. You're the one that brought it up.
I was like, what? Why is his eyes drilled out? That was the weird part. I was like, why is both of his eyes got drilled? Like, did the first eye get drilled out, and then the guy like took the time to do the second one just to be like, he's got no eyes. Oh, you bet you didn't see that coming. You know, it just didn't feel all right. I just didn't laugh. I didn't laugh at any of these. But where was I? See, I'm losing my train of thought because everything's broken. Oh yeah, I wrote notes. All right. The guitar is a little too much. It's a huge phallic symbol. It's bigger. Everything is amped to 11 in this second movie. The fact that it's a supernatural horror kind of threw me off because you don't expect it. I thought it was just going to be some rockabilly guy that's just like, I'm crazy. I'm crazier than the first guy. You know, I thought that's what this was going to be. Oh no, it's just weird. Valerie looked like the girl that got killed with the boyfriend. Like they just miscast her. I don't know. Remember the boyfriend from the first movie that got killed in the car, and then she got killed after that? I thought that was the same girl that turned into Valerie for this movie. I don't know if she is or not. She just looked like her, and I was like, why did you miscast her? I don't know. And why couldn't you get the old Valerie back? That's weird. And kill her like the way they did, just like they killed that girl from the first Friday the 13th in the second movie. It's just the same thing. I'm like, damn it, don't kill the original from the first. I don't know why it threw me off. My favorite characters in this movie are the couple, the girl with the house and TJ. TJ, that's my homeboy. I would hang out with TJ. I'd have a beer with TJ. I don't know why. He's just a goof.
You talking about the guy who, like, with the traumatic woman who's going through like major problems right now, decides he's gonna fucking throw her into the pool and drown her and shit like that.
Yes, that guy. He seems like a fun dude.
I love when he gets got and he's like running around and his hot ass girlfriend's like trying to help me. He's like, he got me. It reminded me of when I got bit by that dog, Jelani.
Yes, exactly.
How's your headache?
Yes. It was he's just a great dude. I don't know what it is. Him and his girlfriend.
He's such a parody. I love him. Like, oh my god. Like, what?
He's amazing. His death, I wish they'd shown his death more like him getting actually slashed down the front. I just remember his name because it was TJ. But it was just little funny things in this movie, but not incredible, I don't think. Crystal Bernard plays it super straight and weird. I don't know. I don't like her as the main character. I like her in Wings for some reason. But Helen Chapel is great character. But but what you do in this movie, make her keep the Southern accent. Her mom even has a Southern accent, which threw me off. And I was like, they weren't from the South in the first movie. It was just weird. It's large stretches that I was in my head watching this movie. And I was just like, you shouldn't have a dream sequence where you manifest a supernatural demon. I don't think that should happen. I don't think it works well for just a slasher movie. I mean, for a Slumber Party Massacre slasher movie.
What if he sings and dances?
Right. I don't. Yeah, maybe he does sing and dance, and he has leather.
Now it's time for the good part.
Jesus wept. So for this movie, I'm gonna give this one a 2.5. I'm not really impressed with it. The nudity was toned down, and that also hurt that score. The nudity. I mean, the TJ's girlfriend was hot. She was hot. She could get it. And I was trying to think, a girl that doesn't show is super hot and would totally get it. And I was like, she was the best friend, and she died from a freaking fall. I was like, that's so lame. He's been killing people and drilling them through walls and all this cool shit, and he just.
She fell like 12 feet and died instantly.
And died. And I'm like, you're dead? No, that should have just hurt or knocked you unconscious or some crazy shit. So yeah, it's all that shit. It's the dream sequences were too much. It's a mixed bag for me. It's not, like I said, still 2.5. It's not. It's all right.
A 2.5. Okay.
All right. I'm sorry you're glazing it. I apologize.
That's fine, Jelani.
Yeah. It's not a Funhouse situation though, because Funhouse fucking sucks. Never watched that piece of shit.
2.5, I guess, is fair for you.
Yeah, yes, it is. Yes, it is.
What about you, Verno? What do you think about Slumber Party Massacre 2?
I told you guys before we got rolling, like I looked on my Shudder and I saw like, okay, I did start this before. And I got 25 minutes deep and I shut it off when I watched it before. And though I enjoyed it, I get why I did at the time. Because like you look at Slumber Party Massacre 1, the characters, not great, pretty bad. But they look great compared to this one. The characters are much worse. Acting in Slumber Party Massacre 1, not good. In this, terrible. Characters not that annoying in Slumber Party Massacre 1, other than the boys. The boys are kind of annoying. In this one, those guys drive me insane. The one guy that pulls her into the pool, super fucking annoying.
I love TJ.
All of these movies, to varying degrees, win me over as the movie goes. Like this one, like I think one of the things they messed up, I wrote it down. I think it's like 35 minutes before there's a kill or something crazy. No kills, 35 minutes deep. There's flashes of things, and there's like some weird set pieces going on, some dream type sequences. But that kind of threw me off. But as it ramps up and the driller killer, like there must be something in the water at Corman Studios where it's like if you're gonna play the driller killer, you commit to the drill bit. Hey,
it's like a ghost face, man.
It's such commitment. He goes so hard into it, and he is so confident in what he's doing on screen. He's doing the silliest shit in any horror movie, and that I gotta respect. When he starts actually singing to his song and dancing, and just over the course of the movie, like he very much wins me over. I'm a Wings fan. Haven't watched Wings in forever, but like halfway through the movie, I'm like, who is this girl? And I had to Google. I'm like, oh shit, it's Wings. Hell yeah. Robbie, I shouldn't be surprised that you mentioned Freddy Krueger. Link, I was telling you this when we talked Marvel Zombies, but it's not just this movie. This kind of shows you like what Freddy did to 80s horror. And it's a byproduct of there's so many horror slasher movies that came out in the first 3-4 years of the 80s. That it's like you had to be creative. You had to get weird with it to do something that people would take note of. And that's where we get Freddy Krueger, and that's where we get Chucky, that's where we get Hellraiser, and all these really like over the top creative 80s horror movies. And it reminds me of Prom Night 2. Remember Hello Mary Lou, Prom Night 2?
Hello Mary Lou, hell yeah.
Same thing, where the first one is just a regular straight up slasher, and the second one is just insane.
I fucking love the second one so much, man.
They right out of the same playbook. What else are we gonna say? Oh, the other thing is just like I like noting like I watched so many movies from the early 80s. And it wasn't until I watched this, it's like, oh yeah, this when people are dressing up as 80s people on Halloween, this is what they're dressing up as.
Yeah.
They're not dressing up as the people in the first one. Like it's crossed that border where it's like it looks like the 80s that we recognize. The pimple bit, we already mentioned, that was my favorite, like the part of the movie that I kind of bought in and got more invested in it. But I still don't love it. I enjoyed it. Thank God it's short. I think all these, besides the third one's the longest one and it suffers for it. But it being so short goes a long way. I will give it, again, I'm feeling good this fucking week. And I really enjoyed it. I had fun with these movies, so I'll again give it a bit of a Horrorfest bump. and I will give it the very apropos 3.69, dude.
Yes.
It's got to have a 69. I had fun with it, man. I'm glad. Again, that's why I'm glad you picked this, because it might have been another handful of years until I covered it on Blood Splatter Chatter that I watched it. But I had fun with it, man. 100%.
I'm not going to lie to y'all. So Dylan's Horror Show started in 2021. So that means for 4 years now, I've watched this movie at least twice a year.
Hell yeah.
Like, I fucking love this movie, man.
Yeah.
I fucking love this movie. This is I put on this movie like I would, like anybody puts on their favorite album. You know, like I'm chilling for the next hour 15. Just have it on while I'm doing whatever, doing bills, doing taxes, you know, whatever. Just have this fucking. And then Joe Bob Briggs has an episode about it that just makes it even better. So like,
oh, I gotta watch that.
Oh yeah, he did Slumber Party 1 and 2.
Last thing
he really does have an affection for 3. So yeah.
Last thing I wanted to say is, and you guys already mentioned it, but when he becomes real, I love that. I don't know. There's something about that was like really fucking cool to me when he breaks into the real world and you're not sure is everyone else going to see this guy or not. And when they react to him, like that moment won me over too. I thought that was really cool.
Hell yeah. So you out there in the chat, let us know what you would rate Slumber Party Massacre 2. I'm very confused by the name changes. He says a 3.2 out of 3. I don't understand.
True.
I don't think you understand the Yadig system. However, Joe does. So Joe, why don't you tell us what you think about Slumber Party Massacre 2? Break my heart and rate the film, please.
No, I'm sorry. This is bad. Every interesting thing about this movie, like if this movie maybe didn't come out after the first 3 Nightmare on Elm Street movies, where the second one, he comes into the real world. So like all of these things that are like, it's really exciting when this movie did this thing another movie did a couple of years ago. It's not as good as Trick or Treat, which came out. Yeah, it's not as good as Trick or Treat, which came out a year or so before this.
The Gene Simmons fucking movie.
Yeah, I like that more than this.
Oh, we've never covered that one either, man. We're gonna have to put that on the list one day, man.
I would love to. I think that to me is more of a like, this is not a good movie, but I'm having a lot of fun, sort of thing. But no, I mean, I've seen everything they've done in this movie before better. Like all of the bits, like, yeah, no, we've seen someone going to an insane asylum because of, you know, the events of the previous movie before, like all of it. Like it really felt like, oh shit, we got to make this movie. We're taking this money. And it was like, all right, I'll just watch a few horror movies that came out a few years ago. And it's an amalgamation of those movies. Like there's not really any, there's not a lot original going on. Like, did it really happen or didn't it? It's like, yeah, that's the end of every Nightmare on Elm Street movie. Like, again, like these are all things that we've seen done before. You know, the guy playing the killer was great. Like there's no, like he did a really good job. A lot of the other acting overall, there's a couple of standouts, but overall very bad. The deaths for the most, like the deaths don't go as hard as they did in the first movie. Like, yeah, there's
we know the MPAA difference between 1982 and 1987.
Yeah.
Even though I did watch the unrated cut of the film, and it still is soft as far as that goes.
Yeah, like it's not like
it's like the Saved by the Bell version of Slumber Party Massacre.
Yeah. Yeah, so like it's missing some of that. You get like again, like it's a really slow start to ramp up to what happens. Similar to the first movie, a lot of the crazy stuff happens like towards the end, and that like elevates it, or like you leave the movie a bit more excited than you would have if they flipped it and it you know ended a bit more dull like that. The Courtney and her mom, the whole thing, like it wasn't very like, they did a very bad job making her sympathetic, and like the way the script was done, you kind of hate her until a little later in the movie where she softens up a little bit. But it's like, I'm sorry. If you're that traumatized and you went through all of that and your sister's in a mental home, like, who on earth would act like that and feel like that's a sympathetic thing? And the movie didn't do enough to address that that's not sympathetic. Like the mother.
She was very petty in the first movie. So, I mean,
no, but she was very petty before everyone she knew got murdered. Like, you know, it's like that should have changed her character a bit, but it didn't. And like,
you know, some people say this movie is a big, bold statement about her repressed bisexuality. And man, knowing that, I've watched this movie several times, and I'm like, I don't understand that one. I don't get that one at all, because I think it's the same type thing, right? She's scared of going all the way with this guy, especially because of everything that happened before. But no, I get what you're saying, man, 100%.
Absolutely.
I would say, like, I don't even like her character throughout the movie at all. Never. I never do. I care about everybody else. And you're right. Like, honestly, this movie takes a long time to get going, but luckily they get to a song before I get bored. And that song lifts me up enough. You know what I'm saying? It's like doing a line of coke, and it keeps me riding until I need to do the next line of coke. And they know how to time my next line of 80s girl band coke. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah,
James.
no, you're fine. But like, there's no acknowledgement. Like, it's one thing to not have any of the other characters from the previous movies, but to like not acknowledge that other people were killed, like, really, and talk about it in a more substantive sort of way, that like none of the other kids, that Mom and Courtney during that conversation, like, it's all about Valerie. Like, it's never like there's such a bizarre disconnect going on.
They always show this blurry newspaper ad about and I'm like,
and
that doesn't work. Yeah.
It doesn't feel right. Like, you could have made a statement, like, you could have like made it sleazier and taken it further and have these girls not give a fuck and sort of be like, you know, like, hey, you know, some people live, some people die, whatever, pass the pizza. You know, you could have this movie could have done a lot. Like, you could have really played with some heavy things while still keeping it lighthearted. And that's the bit. The bit is, you know, like, well, you know, they all die, but like, we're not changing our behavior. We're still going to act this way. And it's like, yeah, that's kind of what they're doing, but like, that's not addressed. It's not a theme in the movie. And they also do a bit here first that they then do in the next movie that is worse in the next movie, and I fucking hate, but I hate it in both of these, with the let's call the cops. Now they think we're liars. Now we're going to call them again. It's like, again, with this movie being so derivative, it's like any one of us could probably name like a dozen horror movies that came out before this that have this similar kind of like, oh, we told a cop or an authority figure and now they don't believe it. Like, and it didn't need to happen. And the way it happens in this movie sucks. Like, I get what they're trying to do by having like the male authority figure treating these women poorly. It's like, but like, there was a way to like do it, and it just didn't. The way it works out in this movie just doesn't work for me. You know, and then for the payoff being we call them back and they don't believe, like, it just.
They should have had the cop in this movie go to the house and get killed. That should have happened. There should have been a lot more. You're right. There are a lot of things in this movie that could have been amped to 11 that they didn't try to do because I guess they just saw a rough draft of the first, or they didn't even watch the first movie. And they're just like, fuck, let's just do our own movie instead of just making an actual legitimate sequel to the Slumber Party Massacre. You could have done this, and they could have been way more nudity or something. I don't know. There's a lot more kills, a lot more brilliant kills.
Jelani, please, Link has to interrupt me next.
I'm wondering if Yeah, thank you. I'm wondering if because it's such a large leap from the first movie, where it is this crazy supernatural fucking acid trip, and with the dreams. I'm wondering if it's like that's why it's like for the people who've seen it, it's a loose connection, but it's like going into it for a new audience member, you don't. It's got the reference, but you know,
If you're a new
it's
audience
not
member,
deep
I think you're
connections.
confused as fuck in this movie, man. Like, even if you're like, I
Even
remember
if
the
you're
first time I
not.
watched this, I was really confused. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I was like, how is this connected at all? And then like, it's only after you really kind of understand. Oh, it's the sister. Okay, like they mentioned that. They mentioned it later into the movie, I think. But anyway,
no, for sure. So like, yeah, the music's solid. I do enjoy that, but like, for me, this is a solid step down from the first, Slumber Party Massacre. So I'm going to give this 2.5.
2.5. All right.
Mhm.
I am not going to be hurt by that because I know it's all subjective, and I know that you are probably right. Link, what about you? What do you think about Slumber Party Massacre II? Electric Boogaloo. Everybody does that fucking joke. I'm done with it. That was the last time I ever did that. Everybody does the Electric Boogaloo joke. Everybody does. Tired of it.
But it works. It's a perfect rhyme.
I'm retiring it. It's over, man. It's over. I'll never do that again.
I hate it.
I feel bad every time. Everybody fucking does it. Every time I watch a fucking movie review and they're talking about a part 2, somebody's Electric Boogaloo, and I'm like, "Who you think you're fucking clever?" Then I just fucking did it, and immediately go, "Yo, you think you're fucking clever?"
I said peace at the end of an episode. I wanted to fucking smack myself in the face. Fucking hated it so much.
He's like, why did I just say that? Why?
Hated it.
It's your boy Link.
All right,
What do you
I'll
think
hit
about
you.
this movie, man?
I hit you, gentlemen, with these bullet points again. All right, I wrote, these folks look like they had a rough life. I think someone commented, or I think it might have been you, Bruno, that commented that or it might be Jelani, one of you two gentlemen, commented that these actors look older than they are, and I agree with that. I was like, Jesus Christ, you guys have had a rough life. You know, for you to be so carefree, you look like you're stressing about something.
I would have loved it if you would just
cannot
ended
agree
it
with
saying
you
these
guys.
characters look like they had a rough life. Next point.
They've seen some things.
I cannot agree with you guys on this. The music, I thought it was terrible. I wrote, cut this shit off when it was the garage song scene where they're like really getting into it. I was like, no. Then I wrote, what's with these bad acid trip dreams?
Mm-hmm.
I wrote Peeping Tom scene that came to mind because I was like, oh, we covered Peeping Tom recently, and those guys were being pervs. That's that pillow fight. I wrote most annoying sleepover ever. Like, even though there was nudity and that shit was just so annoying, I was just like, cut the shit off. You know, I don't. There's a lot of this.
Bro, that scene is
Final
like
Fantasy
my
background
happy
music.
place. That scene is my happy place. I don't know what it is, man. The song,
No
the
disrespect.
feathers, like I don't know. That's just my that's
Jesus,
just my happy place, man.
Tear open the pillow, sprinkle the feathers like confetti on these bitches.
I just got to jump in and say, like, you know, you're really turning me around on the music on this. Maybe it is bad.
I liked the Final Fantasy background music. Then they were doing another. I think it was a performance where it's like the simp dudes are like being their groupies and like dancing for them. And I wrote most terrible garage band music ever. Like, this shit is garbage. Chilling by the pool in swimming trunks and a leather jacket. Hell no, that's not cool. That's not cool.
That's Jelani's boy TJ right there, man.
Boy, TJ. I'm gonna hang out with TJ, dog. I need to find TJ and be like, bro.
That's the dude that Jelani wants to replace me and Brooks with, just so y'all know, okay? Let's just let you know what kind of guy Jelani is, all right?
If you get an amalgamate.
Minute for TJ. Hell yeah.
When the chick was singing about the pie in the sky, she was like, what I want the most is like a piece of pie in the sky. I was like, what I want most is for you to shut the fuck up. Terrible. Once again, terrible music.
I want
Just
this
being
stuff.
honest.
I want the
Bathtub-
missing link fucking commentary to this movie, man.
Oh my god.
bathtub scene was cool though. They gave me Freddy Krueger vibes, and the zit scene, of course, the zit scene was badass. That being said, towards the end of this movie, I think it's been said by a few of you gents that it's kind of bullshit for the most part, and then like towards the end, it kind of gets exciting. There isn't. You know what? For how much shit I talked about this movie, I sat there and watched it the entire time. I was engrossed by it. So I think there's something to be said for that. I'm still captivated by it in a sense. So I will give this a solid 3.69
Okay.
out of 5.
Hell yeah. I like that. I was not expecting that, so I like that. I just came up with a new idea, Link, for a show. Me, you, maybe sometimes a guest. We just do a movie commentary. Like we watch a movie and it's just our commentary on the movie. And it's going to be something that I know you're not going to like, but that I like. And we're going to call it Diss Tracks.
Oh,
I would love that.
I like
love
that. I like
I
the
would love
title.
that. Yeah, I
Nice.
think that would be a good, solid idea. 3.69, is that what you said?
Yes, sir.
Fuck, yes.
Wow.
I'm loving this so far.
Did you give it more than you gave the first one?
That was the same.
I did enjoy it more than the first one. Yes.
Oh, you did. Yeah, you gave the first
Okay.
one a 3. Fuck you. See, I'm liking this.
You
I'm liking this.
okay. All
Link,
right.
you're right about everything except for the music. The music's fucking baller. What about you, Brooks? I know you're going to break my heart, or maybe you'll surprise me. What do you think about Slumber Party Massacre 2?
I didn't like it. It was boring. I think it was more boring than the first one. But like it is punctuated a little bit by the driller killer, the rockabilly guy, which I kind of like him. Like he kind of tiptoes up to the point of almost being annoying to me, but he doesn't quite get there. So like his scenes I find to be like actually the high points of the movie. But the rest of it is like, typical blah blah blah. There's Slumber Party, there's a massacre. It soured on me because I think what really soured me on this movie is that what they did to Valerie in the beginning. It's like, why couldn't she have just gone off to fucking college or something? Why'd you have to go to the loony bin? Like they just my girl. It's like an Alien 3 when you're like, oh, you remember Hicks and Newt, those two characters you love from the movie? They're dead. So
I love Alien 3. God damn it. I love Alien 3.
That's a piece of shit too, just like Funhouse.
Alien 3 is great, man. Get the fuck out of here. What's wrong with you?
It does piss me off some.
Ass.
Alien 3 may not be an excellent movie, but it's still pretty good, man. And I think it's one of the
And
best.
they kill Ripley. Ass. And they kill her by
One of the best scenes actually was Ripley's death scene.
ass. Oh, it's the best part of the movie, but it's still ass. Still ass movie.
Alien 3 is the shit, man. I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a
Okay.
fuck what you say. Alien 3 is
You're
the shit.
being contrarian.
No, I think Alien 3 is the shit. I love Alien 3. I like Alien 3 better than Aliens. How about that?
I think
What's
I
his
might
name?
too.
What's
What's his
I
name?
think I might too.
Dismisses this film.
You go
what's
too
the guy
far.
who directed it? What's his name? The guy that directed
David
it.
Fincher. David Fincher.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Fincher. I forgot his name for the movie. He dismisses this film. He's like, fuck this thing. As he
Yeah,
should.
well, whatever, man. He's
He's a
wrong.
piece of shit.
Brooks, go ahead. I'm
Studio-
sorry. What were you
studio
saying?
fronts.
What other bullshit were you saying?
Interference. Bullshit.
Yeah, I guess I'll give this one a 2. Like,
God damn.
it's fine.
Good job, dude.
It's fine, but like there's like so many better slashers really, I think,
Mm-hmm.
out there. Like,
A
I'd
lot.
watch Halloween or like, Phantasm or something cool instead of like, this boring trash.
I think you have a funhouse situation.
No, I don't. I don't. Let me tell you why. First of all, I think this movie truly deserves. Who the fuck is ferociously typing? Is that you, Verno?
No, not me.
Mute your fucking mic. All right. So, I think this movie truly deserves a 3.5. But
Oh, you was giving it a 5. I know you
What?
did a 5.
I'm going to give it a 0.5 horror
Got
bump,
off.
or a 0.5 Horrorfest bump, a 0.5 I love this franchise bump, and a 0.5 spite bump. And this is going to be a 5 you digs for me. I
Yeah,
think this
I
is
know.
a perfect movie. Why is it a perfect movie to me? To quote Jelani, the rewatchability factor. I can put this movie on at any fucking moment and I will watch it. I truly love this fucking movie. So a 5 from me, a 2 from Brooks, a 2.5 from Joe Angelini, and a 3.69 from Verno and Link for a 3.569, dudes. And I think that's pretty fair. I think that's
I think every single person who heard that is questioning your credibility right now.
Yeah.
I think everyone was like, no, but everyone I think would have been like, okay, if Robbie went up to a 4 on this one, sure. 4.5's outlandish, but a 5.
I explained why, and I stand by it. And I'm the one who gave Fateful Findings a 5 along with you, asshat. All right, so like, calm down.
I wouldn't.
Now that was a reach.
Level as
now you know that you gave Fateful Findings a spite bumper too. So
Fateful like Neil Breen is a singular voice for this century that we'll be talking about for decades to come.
I agree. No, I'm going to give it a 5 though. Like personally, it's one of my favorite movies, man. Like when me and Verno did our top slashers, I put it as an honorable mention. Like I said, I think for me, honestly, it might be if I'm trying to be objective, if I was doing this as a school report, no, I'd still give it a 5. I fucking love this movie. I love everything about this fucking movie. I embrace its dumbness. I fucking love it. All right, we're about to get into 1990s Slumber Party Massacre 3. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here on PCP Movie Night Horrorfest. All right, welcome back to our Slumber Party Massacre trilogy. Look, we're looking at all 3 of the original Slumber Party Massacre films, and now we're getting into Slumber Party Massacre Part 3, that was released in 1990. Produced once again by Roger Corman. It was directed by Sally Madison and written by Catherine Saran. So once again, this is a slasher franchise that's completely done by women, writing and directing, and that is not something that is very common, if anywhere outside of this, as far as a franchise goes for slasher films, as Joe mentioned earlier tonight. All right, so let's get into it. So I have it here on this 2-pack that they did. Scream Factory only made 1,000 of these. I was very lucky to be able to get one for a good price about a year ago. This has Slumber Party Massacre 3, which is a very hard film to find. Luckily, because there's rights issues or something, which is weird. But luckily, it's somebody has it up on YouTube. So a lot of people got to watch it because of that. So let's dive into it now. Of course,
We
I got to
got
watch
it.
I got to watch the unrated version on here. I don't know what exactly is on YouTube. So first time I watched it was a couple years ago on YouTube, and I remember not liking it. And I liked the first one. I loved the second one, but I just did not like the third one. This is the second time in my life I've seen this movie, and honestly, I think the second time you watch any of these movies is a little bit better. Like once you kind of know what you're getting into. And Brooks, based on your statements, I really think that if you watched Slumber Party Massacre Part 2 like 2 more times, you would wind up loving it. Like you would wind up like anticipating those moments that you love. But anyway, that being said, Slumber Party Massacre 3. So they wanted to make another one. It was the Concord thing again. It grossed $102 million at a very, very brief, even lesser, like even a less significant theatrical showing than the second one. Had a budget of $350,000. So all 3 of these movies were successful. This is the kind of filmmaking that Roger Corman does. This one does go more, I think, into typical slasher movie territory. There is a whodunit aspect to it, even though, as Joe pointed out, there are plenty of slasher movies that predate the first Slumber Party Massacre that are not whodunits. But that's kind of like what did happen with a lot of just generic slashers. And I guess the difference between some of the movies like Halloween or Black Christmas or anything like that, like I do think that even though elevated horror didn't start till like 2012 or whatever the fuck it was, I do feel like that's a different class of film than something like Slumber Party Massacre is, but whatever. Like that being said, Slumber Party Massacre 3 goes more into the typical what most people think of when they think of generic slasher movies, right? Because yeah, movies like Halloween, movies like I've never seen Peeping Tom, movies like that, they're not quite just average, like generic slasher films. This one feels more generic out of all 3 of these films, right? Like the first one kind of feels like it's doing something different. The second one is definitely to me feeling like it's doing something different, but the third one is more like just trying to capitalize on things. It was originally titled something else. They turned it into Slumber Party Massacre 3. It's how Roger Corman worked. He was like, the brand, it's going to work. And it did. I do like the film. I don't think it's great. I think it's the weakest of the 3. But I do like the music. I think the music is pretty freaking solid in the movie if you actually pay attention to it, which I do. The music has like late 80s, early 90s kind of vibe, but at the same time, it's got that like Casio synthesizer vibe, but like the 1990 version of it. So I like that. I like the fact that the killer, I like that it is a whodunit, and I like that they reveal the killer pretty quickly. And I like I figured it out. The first time I ever watched this film, I was like, well, the killer is that Kin dude on the fucking beach, because the other 2 are way too fucking obvious. The creepy neighbor and the creepy guy at the beach, right? They're way too fucking obvious. Though we never get explanations on what those 2 asshats' motivations were throughout the movie. The movie's not good, but it does lean more back into what people are expecting with the sexual content, with the nudity. It rips off a lot of the scenes from the previous films, including part 2, where the girls just decide to randomly, truth or dare, do a striptease, and the one girl's like, I'll do it with you. And they just have that moment where the dudes come and look. It's straight out of Sorority Babes at the Slime Bowl-orama. You know, it's like the same shit, but like I like this movie because of that. So I like the music. I like the characters. Honestly, I like that there's more characters in this movie, so we get more of a body count. Some of the kills don't quite work, but some of the kills are rather gnarly. I love the dude that gets stabbed with the fucking for sale sign. Like that shit to me is pretty badass. I love that this dude is using more than just the drill, but I love that when he uses the drill, it works, right? Like when he kills that first girl, he's like doing that thrusting motion to reiterate the point of what the whole franchise is, which is how fucking scary penises are, phallic symbols and shit, like being penetrated, what that's like. I mean, because they're all trying to talk about what it's like for a woman to understand that she is being pressured or wants to have sex for the first time, right? You know, like with dudes, it may be a little bit different, but I have 3 sisters, and it's a different kind of vibe. It's a different kind of fear, if that makes sense, right? So I like all those aspects. I like the kills in the movie. I like the kill where the driller killer is chasing that random woman down the fucking street. That's the chick from Friday the 13th who they cut her sex scene because she was underage, right? That's the same actors. So that's pretty freaking cool. What's that?
Part
Part 2. That's part 2, right?
Okay. Oh, Sandra.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's her. And it's her brother who shows up in final chapter, right? She's the one that he's looking for. Anyway, that's her, which I thought was pretty freaking cool. Finding that out. But all in all, I like this movie. It's kind of like Saved by the Bell, but like the horror, slightly sleazy version of it. Honestly, I think the sleazy version of Saved by the Bell is Cruel Intentions, but it still works for me. You've never done Cruel Intentions, y'all.
We really haven't. That's
you know
crazy.
What? I think I know what my cruise choice just might be next year. So anyway, but I actually like Slumber Party Massacre 3. I don't think it's as good as 1 and definitely not as 2, but I do enjoy it for what it is. It is a little long. I like the twist. I like the explanation. I guess they're trying something with the fact that it seems like he was abused by his uncle or something like that, but they don't really dwell on it. But if they did, I don't think the actor could have really portrayed it too well. But overall, I like the movie. I think it's fun. I think all 3 of these movies are fun, and this one is bad, but I still find it to be even maybe slightly more fun than the first one, if that makes sense. So I do like it. I do like Slumber Party Massacre 3. What about you, Jelani? And this is one I'm not going to be offended no matter what anybody here thinks. I'm not attached to this one like I am too, just so you know. You ain't going to hurt nobody's feelings.
Okay. Well, good on you. It's a bad film. It's really bad. It's got the dumbest characters I've ever seen in things since the last dumbest set of characters I've ever seen. There are a few sets. These people were just dumb. This killer is like basically killing this girl and like groping her, and there are like 3 people in the room now that can stop it from happening, and they just watch it happen. I'm like, it's weird as fuck. I hate this movie for different reasons. It's so much disjoint nonsense. It's got 2 red herrings, the creepy guys, and I don't even know what happens to the telescope creepy guy. Did he die? I don't remember if he even tried.
I don't know what happened to him.
He's the one that called the police.
Yeah,
he's the one that called the police.
we don't know why he's so creepy.
I don't know why he's creepy.
Yeah.
Maybe he really just just want their house. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He just
Very
wants the house.
overprotective
He's
neighbor.
not looking at him like
He's horny, but it's for the house.
Yeah, I'm here for the house. Just want to know what it looks like from at night. Stupid shit like that. I like the characters in this movie. They're all dumb as shit, but I like all of them. I love the body count in this film. There are a lot of good things I enjoy. Even though it's a bad film, this is really fucking bad. This may though be my favorite of the group. This shit is my favorite because it knows what it's supposed to be. This is a slumber party massacre. It's a whodunit, which it should be. It's the killer he's got actual motivation. In fact, I think he's the best killer of the 3. To be
Preach,
honest.
Jelani.
He is the best of the 3 because psychologically he's fucked up and he's a Chad. So because he's this dude, this Ken doll dude,
This
and
dude's
you
Ken, man.
expect it from him, but he's literally the killer. And you're like, I get it. He's American Psycho. This is how it's supposed to be. This is Slumber Party Massacre. It's a piece of shit film. Good God. It at every level, but this is my favorite one. There's like I like the kills in this one. I like how he saws that guy's legs, his ankles, and he's like, "Don't tell me." You know, he's
I love all the bit
impotent,
before that where he's like, "Hey man, let's go in here. I think they got tools we can go." And he goes, "What do you think
Right.
about this sledgehammer,
What
man?
about the sledgehammer?
like
Let me
it?"
see it, bro. Boom. It's a whole. I love that scene. I love he's impotent. He can't really do it. Like, it's not getting him off to do that. It's getting him off to kill people. But then at the same time, he's obsessed with one girl, who is the redhead, who is my favorite character in that movie. She's awesome. I don't know why. I just thought she was cool. She was fighting back. She was trying to do the best she could. I liked her aura. And they're just, I like this group of people. I don't know why, but they're the dumbest people that ever lived. The pizza murder is kind of stupid because, chick, just keep running. You can just keep running. I don't know what you're doing wrong. The guy's got a whole drill in his hand trying to come at you. Keep running. It's okay. I don't know what she did, but she just turned around. And by the way, murder in the street, her screaming, no one comes out to check. It's a neighborhood. Did you notice it was a neighborhood? So many fun things happen in this movie. I'm impressed with how goofy it was, and I enjoyed it, and it knew its premise. It's the first movie, but it's I don't know how to explain it. It's the first movie. It's very derivative of the first movie, but it's like better somehow. So because of that, because this is my favorite of the group, I will give this one a 4. This one deserves a 4. I would give it a 4.69, but I can't. I don't. It's not there. If it had a little bit more nudity in this one, and like they had more hotter girls, I don't know how to explain that. I don't know. I have to. When you watch this trash, you gotta like, you gotta objectify the women. I apologize, women out there. But you gotta objectify them in this movies. Sorry, it's just gonna happen. So yeah, they need to be a little hotter for this to be like a 5 or some shit. But this is the best of the group for me, and it's bad movie. It's really bad.
Yeah.
All right,
Really
a
bad.
4 out of 5 for part 3 from Jelani. What about you, Verno? What you sitting on, man?
I agree with almost everything Jelani said. But I think it was bad. I guess he said that. I also agree with that, but it's by far my least favorite. I agree with everything you said, but it's my least favorite for sure. I thought it was interesting, like watching 2. I'm like, what are they gonna do with 3? Well, you know what I mean? Are they gonna do like the first one? Are they gonna do like the second one? And I had seen that kill, by the way, that front porch kill. So my inkling was that this was more like the first one, and it was. I think it's exactly what I said about the second one. The acting is even worse than both the first 2. The camera's even worse. Like everything gets worse. The characters get a little bit worse. In my opinion, like I don't know, maybe I'm tripping. I don't even remember most of the kills. And I did write down that the for sale sign was the first kill, unless I missed something. And that was 30 minutes deep into the movie. Yeah. And then we didn't get another kill for 18 minutes.
Drill hands.
And that was the death by dildo scene where she dropped the dildo in the bathtub. Which was
like the dildo.
They tried to do like a call back to the van scene from the first movie and with the car strangulation, I guess. But that shit was weak as fuck compared to the van scene.
Is that the one where he's drilling her in and out?
Yeah, that should be the first kill. The chick that she's leaving volleyball.
That's
she's the one that's supposed to be bringing the meat for their barbecue.
Okay. So I did miss one. So there is one.
That's why they have to order pizza, which means the whole reason why that poor girl dies.
I don't know. They do it. They do a lot. I think it's funny. Correct me if I'm wrong, but every single movie in this franchise, you could call this movie like, oh, this is the franchise with the driller killer. You could also call it, oh, this is the franchise where people stand outside the window and watch girls and girls do a striptease for each other at a slumber party.
Yes.
It's like the thing that
I
they do.
didn't know that women really did stuff like this, bro. Whoa, my name's TJ, man.
But Link said this. Link, you said this about 2. Where like as much as you didn't enjoy 2, and you recognized also that it's a pretty bad movie. I'm there with you. Yeah. But I was captivated by it. I was into it for as bad as it was. I was surprisingly into it for the whole ride. I was wishing, like we've all said, that it was 15 minutes shorter. If this had the same runtime that the first 2 had, it would be better off for it. So I didn't hate it. I'll give it. I think all these are deserving of a 0.69. So I will ride with a 2.69 for
All
Slumber
right,
Party 3.
2.69. I can
Nice.
vibe with that. I like that. I like your reasoning. That's nice.
Nice.
What about you, Joe? What do you think about part 3?
This to me is definitely better than part 2. This has something to say that's different than the other movies. This is one of the few that actually, like, this one has like subtext. It's trying to say something. Like, they are all the victims of, you know, toxic masculinity and masculine, like they are like, and it's through multiple facets. Like, it's not just the killer, it's the police. The cop doesn't listen to the women. It's the men who convince him to send someone. It's when the neighbor calls that he's like, oh, sure, right away. Like,
Look, even Carl Winslow Light wanted to go, but
Yeah.
he was like, I'll go after my shift.
I'll go after
yeah.
shit. Okay.
But it was when a man said there was a problem that they send the cops. Like, that
Yeah.
very clearly intentional. Like, they're clearly showing that they are all victims here of, you know, patriarchal injustice. They're victims of toxic masculinity, because the killer is lashing out because he's a gay man who was, you know, manipulated by toxic masculinity and was hurt by that, and is then inflicting. And there's multiple things that we can sort of see for that. Like, they have the whole scene where he can't get hard with her and he immediately goes down on her. When is the last fucking time a straight man
Right.
couldn't get it up, so he went down on the girl he was with?
Yep.
Fucking never.
Never.
That's too much beer,
You
man.
ain't wrong, dog. You ain't wrong. That's
So,
my
like, yeah, like, that's not a thing. So, like, they were very clearly,
He does love him
Going
some titties,
for it.
though, man. He does.
yeah.
He does love titties.
No,
Who
but
doesn't
they
love
were-
titty, you know?
Which, honestly, a lot of gay men are obsessed with titties. I'm just going to
No,
say.
it's true. It's just like, so he was clearly this, you know, gay guy, and you can also kind of extrapolate that the you know, the guy that was like stalking them on like the beach, who like came to their house, was like trying to hook up with that guy. You know, he kills him off, like, it's like sort of like a quick offside thing, and his body's in the house. Like, you could extrapolate pretty easily that he tricked him and killed him for that sort of way. Like, there's a lot to chew on. There's a lot of interesting stuff going on that has more depth and weight to it than the first one. And the first one's also doing a lot, but definitely the second one. And I do also have to push back on this idea. The second one, like, it's not that creative to be ripping off the single, like, hottest horror by the end of 1987. That was the height of the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. That was its zenith. It was
post Dream
what was
Warriors,
it?
man.
Yeah. That was Dream Warriors came out in February that year, and Slumber Party 2 came out towards Halloween. Like, and then like so it's hard to, like, this again, like, I it's clearly not doing anything unique beyond some of this queer subtext, which, you know, we've seen in stuff like Nightmare on Elm Street 2 and all of that, but like, it's very clearly sort of there. And it doesn't really get discussed, which I think is in part because people do kind of dismiss this movie pretty often. This is not really discussed, but you know, I have to give it higher than 2. I don't think, like, I think 3 is just doing something more. I don't think it's not as good as the first one. So I'll give this a 3.
All right. 3 you digs from Joe. What about you, Link? What are you thinking? And by the way, that was the most studious and erudite thoughts I've ever heard anybody say on Slumber Party Massacre.
There you go. Clip it.
Thank you.
Can I share that on my show? I'm going to clip it and put it on my show.
Please.
Yeah, go for it, man.
Yeah.
Lock it.
Just tag us.
Yeah.
Once again, I'll hit you, gents, with the bullet points. I'll go with be a little bit more optimistic this time around. I enjoyed the friend zone scene where old dude was asking the chick, he like, what do you do if you really like a chick? And she's like thinking she's in the friend zone, and then he fucking makes his move and reaches in and kisses her. I was like, okay, I see, my man.
Oh,
Made
I
his
thought you were
death
about to talk
that
about the
much
nerd that has the
worse.
Dumb and Dumber haircut, man.
Yeah,
That
he's
guy
like-
was like
No,
just
he was
hopeless the
terrible.
whole movie.
Pays $46 for a
He was
pizza
a-
shirt
$46
so he
for
can
a shirt.
deliver the pizza. It's like,
Yeah.
He was the most satisfying death for me. I was like, yes, like I felt that insertion into him. The second favorite death. My favorite death was when the chick was like, "Fuck you," and like throws herself through the glass window.
Oh
and
my
dude's
god,
like,
that was
"What a waste."
incredible. I love that so much.
Well,
She beat so hard.
it,
Like, it was over.
it was bad, but it impactful because I was like,
Mm.
how strong is she? Like, she didn't gain any momentum. Like, is that just really thin glass? I'm probably reading too much
So-
into it, you know. But
got
I was like,
two-
why is she
two-
dead? Like,
2 facts about that. Number
God.
1, she did that stunt herself. Number 2, that's
wow.
the chick from the Wet Dream in Dream Warriors.
Wow.
That's in the waterbed.
no way.
Yep, that's her.
Wow.
Bro, who kills himself?
and so
I thought you were going to say, fun fact, she really died. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no.
she never woke up. Holocaust or the Cannibal Holocaust. Check it out.
I was
and-
about to be like, wait,
while the second
Holocaust?
one-
Wait, hold on a second, Link. Wait.
No.
They
Tongue
killed a
twister.
turtle, man. That's some
Well,
bullshit.
I think the second one kind of borderlines like so bad is good at times. I think this one is not. While there is that subtext you were bringing up, Joe, I think that it's nothing is. I think you kind of have to. There's nothing that's really explored within the movie itself. Yes, you can add your theories and make it more interesting into the context of stuff, but there's nothing within the film itself to really cement that. So I think that it makes it, you made a good point, because I was like, oh, maybe the film's not so bad, but once again, it's not really in the film. I do think this is the worst of the three. It's boring. The kills are too bad now I'm thinking about it. I mean, they're 90s. I guess I'm accepting it for the arrows in, but the energy that two had, the lore mystique of the killer of the first one, not evident in the third one.
Yeah, but if you judge it from the movies of its era, it's definitely better than Puppet Master 4.
Oh,
Yeah, you know what?
There's not much to pull from
It's
some of the
actually better
90s
than a
ones.
lot. But ultimately, I think this one is forgettable overall. So I'm going to give this one a 2 out of 5.
Damn, a 2 out of 5. All right. Fair enough. Is that what you gave it, Jelani, right? 2? No, Jelani gave it a 3.69.
It was his favorite.
yeah.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
what?
All
What are we
right.
talking-
I'm forgetting who gave it what to what. So it's okay. 2 from Steph. Brooks, what about you? What do you think about part 3? You love it?
No, I hate it. It sucks. It's like they did the first movie again, but like, what if we did it bad this time? What if we did it bad and it sucked? And they accomplished that. You know, this movie is like, up until the climax, I was like, you know, it's all right. It's about the same as the first. But the climax is what fucking ruins it for me, because like, I can buy a lot of stupidity when it comes to slasher movies and like how people act, but this is like these chicks I was surprised they didn't just like run into his fucking drill half the fucking time.
Right.
They had so
You
many
just
fucking
could've
opportunities
ganked him.
to bash the shit out of this like goober, and like he's still fucking going
Really
around and he's
blind
like,
ass hat, dude. He has no idea, and she's just like,
It's so silly when he's
they
blind.
blind him with
It's
cameras,
silly.
and
Five
he still
people
manages
in
to
the
almost,
room.
like assault one of them.
Yeah,
I'm like,
there are
Why-
5 people
why
in the room.
are
You can't
idiots
tackle him.
not just gang up and stomp this guy. Like, you know, so many times opportunities. And there's even one scene where, like, you know, they're trying to go out the window and like the one chick gets like halfway out the window, but then it cuts to the next scene and she's on the ground. I was like, why the fuck did she like drop back into the fucking window?
Yep.
But it's like it got so stupid at the end. I was like, fuck this shit. This movie this is the worst one. It sucks. So I give it a 1.5. The half is for the nudity. It has some decent nudity in it, so I give it that. I give it that 0.5 bump for that. It's not as bad as like Hellraiser Revelation.
I think there's something about watching them in order and it getting like kind of progressively like worse filmmaking that like it gives it a bump for me. It's like preparing me for
like they start leaning on the name brand recognition more as it goes on.
Yeah.
I think that might be my favorite Brooks movie review ever. Like honestly,
that's better than irony.
Brooks, you've been stellar tonight. You went from it's all right to I didn't like it to this movie fucking sucks. Like your emotional range tonight, it's like Academy Award winning, dude. I love it. For me,
like a boulder.
I think it's the weakest of the three. I'll give it the 0.5 Horrorfest bump. I'll give it the 0.5 I love this franchise bump. I'm going to give it a 3.69. 3.69 from me. So Jelani gave it a 3.69, right?
I gave it a 4.
You gave it a 4. Yep. What about you, Verno?
2.69.
2?
2.69. Yep.
All right, Joe?
3. No, 3. Yeah.
Okay. Link? A 2? Okay. Brooks gave it a 1.5.
Yeah, 1.5.
I gave it a 3.69. I think we got a PCP average of 2.169. Sound good?
Fair enough.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Sure.
I like that.
Sure.
Yeah, that's fair.
I gave it a 4. Brooks gave it a 1.5, so it kind of like evened out.
Yeah, it kind of like this kind of took it and kind of middled it. It's probably more like 2.69 actually. 2.69.
Sounds right.
We'll go with it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Let's go. Joe's like, sure, fucking great. Let's go.
Am I the only truth teller on this panel?
No, you're not. We're all speaking
man.
our truth, man.
I'm the semi-truth teller.
Experience.
Don't
I
fucking
gave it
act
a
like
2.
you're goddamn.
A 2.
Who are you? You Roger Ebert? All of a sudden, you got a
Smart critic.
letterbox account? What the fuck is going on, Brooks? Like, what the fuck? Brooks, you gave Reanimator a 5, man. So
You
did
gave-
I. I'm saying
Reanimator
you
is a badass
gave Reanimator
movie.
a 5.
You gave Shiver of the Vampires a 4, if I remember. It's like, come on, bro. I mean, I was counting on you to back me up, and I was very disappointed.
I was
were
like,
right.
I'm the only one who didn't like this
That's like my
movie.
advice. Never count on me.
That's
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
you never know. You did not disappoint me tonight, though, Brooks. I felt like
Unless
this
it's
is
Double
exactly how
Dragons.
you're gonna be.
This is great.
Mhm.
All right. Next week, thus concludes our movie review of the trilogy of Slumber Party Massacre. And now we're hitting October in Horrorfest. And we got to bring it when it comes to October. So we've had some fun doing these sleazy, cheesy movies, but we're getting into some real shit for the next few weeks. And next week, we're talking about Lucio Fulci's City of the Living Dead.
Bro.
We've talked about The Beyond here on March Madness. We've talked about Zombie on a previous Horrorfest, not in the live era, though, not really. We did a special bonus in-studio one for that one. However, we've talked about what? Don't Torture a Duckling, Lizard in a Woman's Skin. We've covered a lot of Fulci.
New York
Man,
Ripper?
I'm really excited to talk about City of the Living Dead. One of the grossest, coolest, most awesome fucking movies I've ever seen. I'm really, really excited to dive into some Fulci next week. Jelani, you didn't send me any thumbnails, but thank you for being here. What you got going on? What's going on with y'all guys? Like, what you got?
Yeah. Well, yeah, man. I just forgot to send it. Yeah, I realized it like halfway through. I was like, crap, I didn't send it. But yeah, Brooks and I do this thing called Go Figure Reviews, and we talk about toys and such. It's like a big old show and tell. We have fun. We just did a Wave 2 review of the Thundercats. This is the Lion-O from that. This is Wave 1, but we also did Wave 2, which is with He-Man, and He-Man's got like a freaking wolf thing going on. Yeah, we reviewed these. Stuff happens. Check us out on that channel. Also doing some G.I. Joe classified stuff. We're going to start doing I got a house tour almost lined up, and all next month we're going to start doing live streams. So probably maybe on a Wednesday, we're going to start doing a live stream. So check us out. Hope you tune in to Go Figure Reviews. Get out there and go figure.
Hell yeah. Verno, you are continuing Horrorfest this week. So why don't you tell us what you got coming up, my man? Because I'm a big part of one of them. And
Very
I'm
excited about it. Very excited, man. Might be my first watch, be Link's first watch, Stu's first watch of Cannibal Holocaust, baby. Never seen it. A lot of people say it's first found footage film ever made. I'm gonna take the word for it until I watch it, but it's on Shudder, man.
I would
very
say
excited.
it's not. I would say it's not.
Really? Okay. Well, I'm at the dig
You'll
into
notice
that.
by the way it's shot, like there is found footage type things, but then there's like
attached with the
footage
parts
of
that
them
aren't.
shooting it, if that makes sense, right?
Right,
It's weird.
right. It breaks the rules. It doesn't know the rules that it's breaking it.
Yeah,
Dope.
there's no rules yet for this, but yeah, it's a. I'm
fuck
very
else
excited. I'm
did
going
I
to be the
say?
only person who's seen this movie before.
Yes.
I've seen it. The damn turtle murder pisses me off. Yes. There's a
It's not
turtle
the
that's
version
murdered.
that most of us will watch. So.
Oh, it's not. Is the Shudder version not the? Is it the cruelty free version?
It's probably the cruelty free. I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't
Okay,
know.
good. I'm glad because I don't want to see real.
It's
animals
bullshit,
being
man. They
real.
kill a turtle.
Yeah, I don't like
Like a
that.
huge old
But
turtle.
yeah, Thursday night, dude.
Hey, 8 o'clock Central Time, and then on Sunday, really excited about this, man. I forgot that it was coming out. I know Link forgot it. On Friday, Shudder is dropping their newest VHS Halloween. All the shorts take place on Halloween night. I'm not usually the biggest fan of the franchise. Don't really love them. The last one that Shudder did was fire. Link and I really enjoyed it. So him and I will be getting together either Sunday or maybe even Monday. I don't know. Keep an eye out for it. Follow me on Instagram, and I'll put it up there. blood.splatter.chatter on Instagram. Excited about it, though.
Oh, yeah, man. I'm excited to talk about Cannibal Holocaust with you fellas. What about you, Joe, man? Thank you for being here. Final thoughts? What's coming up?
Thank you for having me. Through A Wave Blue World, we had just put out an anthology that I co-edited with my friend Molly Jackson called Crisis on Our Only Earth. It's to raise money for environmental causes, specifically the NRDC. We've got all new stories from people. It's all like creator-owned stuff, but we have a Trina Robbins story that she did for us before her passing. Rest in peace, Trina Robbins. Mindy Newell, who was one of the first women to write Wonder Woman, and David Pepos did a story with Chris Sheehan in it. There's a lot of really cool stuff in it. My buddy Eric Palicki did a story. Sweeney Boo did some art for it. It's a Liana Kangas, Simon Beasley jam cover. So
nice.
It's digital. This is for the environment. We might do a limited print run next year if we can find a way to do it that would work. For the fact that it's an environmental anthology. But beyond that. The trade of Green Hornet Miss Fury, I believe, is going to be out in like a couple months, so people can pre-order that. I had a lot of fun editing that book, and I'm sure Federico Ceresa is probably already on other books that we don't know about. Those are the main things. You can still get King Arthur's volumes 1 and 2 through Maverick, and
Hell yeah. Well, it's always nice to have your expertise here tonight, Link. We always appreciate you and what you bring to the panel. What do you got coming up, man? And any final thoughts?
Oh yeah, we will be, of course, over at Blood Splatter Chatter this Thursday. We're just reiterating what Verno said. Cannibal Holocaust and VHS. I'm looking forward to. I don't know about Cannibal Holocaust. We'll hear my thoughts, but I'm looking forward to VHS.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you for being here, man. Looking forward to hanging out with you guys on Thursday. Brooks, thank you for being here. Final thoughts. You're always so profound.
I'm sorry if I disappointed you a bit with this review, but I figured you had to have seen this one coming. I'm like, he knows. Like when I watched the third, I'm like, he knows. He knows I'm not gonna like this. But now that we're through with all this slasher garbage, just push it over the side. We actually watch some true art now.
Yeah, I'm very excited to hear your thoughts on Mother of Tears, bro.
Yeah.
You have not seen that. Oh God.
Yeah,
Paradise
the true art of the finale of the Three Mothers trilogy. Let's go. All right. But yeah. For me, yeah, once again, next week, City of the Living Dead. But before that, tomorrow night on Horrorfest over at Dylan's Horror Show, they're going to be talking about Creep Show 2.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, on Thursday, of course, Cannibal Holocaust. And then, of course, VHS Halloween for Bonus Blood on Sunday. And then City of the Living Dead on Monday. And then guess who's joining us? Our man Fable is joining Horrorfest, and he's kicking off with Pitch Black. I guess it's horror adjacent. So sure, we'll allow it. You know, it's his first time here. You know, he hasn't learned all the rules yet, so it's all right.
It is
Anyway,
horror. Scary.
I think Jelani and Brooks are both going to be there for that. So
Nice.
hell
It's
yeah.
gonna
All right,
be-
we're dipping out. And for my final thought, I started the show saying rock and roll would never die. And I'm just going to end it with saying, let's buzz. Let's buzz.